Hello, friends. Good morning, and you're welcome. Today, we're just going to take a little bit of time to discuss heart infections. And we are discussing heart infections because we're interested in the microorganisms that cause one or two or any number of infections in the heart. Because this is important for us to also know and understand as scientists. Now, when we look at microorganisms, we have bacteria, we have fungi, we have viruses, and many other types. We also have parasites, and many of them are capable of causing one disease or the other within the heart. Now, we'll run this as a 2 or 3 part series where we'll discuss these various different types of infections and what they are able to cause on the long run. Now, when we look at the heart as an organ of the body, we know that the heart is the organ that pumps blood around the body. It's the organ that functions majorly in circulation. And we realize that the heart gets to work, round the clock. Even whether we are awake or we are asleep, the heart continues to pump blood continually in order to meet the needs of the human body. Now, when you look at the heart as an organ, you realize that you could break it down into about 3 parts. You have the endocardium, which is the inner linings or inner part of the heart. You have the myocardium, which are the muscles of the heart. You can see like in the middle. And then you have the pericardium, and the pericardium is like the outer covering or sac of the heart. And so these are important parts of the heart, and we find out that over time they could become prone to infection for one reason or the other. Now, there are many types of infections that could happen in the heart. You can have endocarditis. If you say it's endocarditis, for an example, you are talking about the infection of the endocardium. So you are talking about infections that affect the endocardium. And then if you say it's myocarditis, that will be infections for the myocardium. And if it is pericarditis, that will be infection for the pericardium. So these different parts of the heart, are prone to different kinds of infections. Now, we are not doctors, we are not clinicians. For us, we're just interested in realizing and understanding which infections, which bacteria or virus are able to cause these infections, and how are they able to cause these infections. Now, very quickly before we end this video, because we'll do it in a 2 3 part series, we don't want to get bored listening to this. So very quickly, you look at, okay, bacterial infections of the heart. Bacterial infections of the heart, and we can now talk about infective endocarditis. Endocarditis. So the endocardium infection that occurs in these areas of the heart, infections that affect the inner linings of the heart, affect the valves of the heart. These are serious infections, and we have found out that there are some organisms that have been implicated. A lot of staphylococcus species have been implicated in causing different kinds of heart infection, and this is important. Staphylococcus aureus, Staphylococcus epididymis, we found out that they have been implicated as organisms that are able to cause serious heart infections, and this is important for us to know. Also, our streptococcus series, the streptococcus viridans, streptococcus bovis, streptococcus pneumoniae, these organisms have also been seen to be able to cause different types of heart infections. And sometimes in situations where you have there's what you call bacteremia, when you have a situation where you have a lot of infection taking place within the blood, you can have this infection, that is, you have a lot of bacteria being present within the blood. This bacteria can begin to, as it's being pumped around in the blood, can find its way into the heart, attach to the inner linings of the heart, and begin to cause different kinds of infections for the heart. So this is important to know. We also find out that the enterococcus, especially our enterococcus fecalis, enterococcus fecum, we see that these organisms are also able to cause different types of heart infection, bacterial heart infection. And lastly, we have a group of organisms we refer to as the Hayek organisms. They are a group of gram-negative bacteria. This is Haemophilus aggregatibacter, our Cardiobacterium, our Kingnella species, and Eikenella species. These are a group of organisms that will find out that they also are able to cause different kinds of infections within the heart. This is important for us to know, and we'll also look at the mechanism with which they cause some of these infections and what is usually advised at clinical stage. Thank you for listening to this video. Do have a beautiful day. Cheers.